So I feel like incredibly blessed that I had the opportunity to interview Elaine Rodriguez. I say like the one and only Elaine because in the space of dentistry, there has been some unbelievable dental hygienists that they just keep going. Like they don't stop at being a hygienist. And there's nothing wrong with just being a dental hygienist. It is a really, really difficult job. But there's so many amazing hygienists that have just continued to pioneer and do things. And that is Elaine Rodriguez. And thankfully, I had the opportunity to actually interview her here in the studio, since she is also a Phoenician. So that was really cool. Elaine, thank you. I really appreciate you just letting me ask you questions, letting me tell your story a little bit and find out, I don't know, almost like the story that maybe not everybody knows, right? I loved in the interview when I was asking Elaine just about, some of her struggles getting to where she's at today, where she is an international speaker. She is known with dental laser integrations internationally, and that is such a big deal. And yet I love that Elaine still has such a groundedness, such a humility to her. And she was like, well, Sean, I actually honestly struggled with seeing myself as a public speaker. I think I could have gotten so much further in my career if I had just owned that, just been like, oh, I can grow in this earlier, and that was something I really resonated with personally. You don't know how many times I would set up a camera, I'd set up lighting, I would try to set up some sort of room or studio, and I'd record, as maybe many of you have tried. And it was watching the playback that would drive me crazy. Like, talk about imposter syndrome. And I love that because Elaine even went on to say that feeling of inadequacy, if that's not there and you don't have some sense of that, then you're probably not actually stepping out enough. You're not stepping high enough. You're not really in that place of the unknown and pushing the limits of what's possible. Because when you are, there's always going to be that whole like, do I have it? Like, am I enough? And Elaine just beautifully portrayed that and shared that in such a vulnerable way. I really appreciate that. There is so much more in the episode, in her interview. You can check it out. I've included the link. But what I really got from Elaine was that she has such a resilience. She knew that she's an implementer. She's a doer, so she just plays that in her favor. She just does. She tries not to overthink it. And I thought one of the most profound things that she said was that you're not going to learn by simply going to classes. She loves learning. She loves reading books. She is curious, absolutely hungry for more information, more knowledge. But she even astutely said, you don't learn there. You learn when you try to apply it and actually step out and start doing the thing. Because I asked her, I was like, okay, for public speaking, you didn't see yourself as a public speaker, and how did you all of a sudden become a good one? And she's like, well, I took some courses, but before I even did that, I just started doing it and just kept doing it. So my encouragement to you is whatever that practice is, if you're an artist, but you don't feel like you're a great artist yet, just keep painting, keep recording music if that's your art. Keep doing, learning dance, whatever it is. If you love solving people problems, then keep putting yourself in a situation where you're able to do that. Fall in love with the practice of what you're doing, so you can just be finding that fulfillment in getting to release that expression of yourself. Anyway, check out the full episode. You're going to love it. Elaine, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.